Hi, I'm Julie Screamant. Welcome to Salesforce Live at Dreamforce. I'm joined today by Giles House, the CMO of CallidusCloud, and Bart Finelli, the VP of Global Field Success at Splunk. So before we dive into questions, I'd love to hear from both of you who you are and what your company does.
It's always a good starting point. So CallidusCloud's been a long-term Salesforce partner, and we're the leader in the sales performance management space. So really what that means is we help sales teams make more money. We pay for performance, improve their performance, help manage the commissions process, and really optimize the territories for making more money for the sales guys.
Well, which is very important for salespeople.
It's funny how it's near and dear to their heart.
What about you, Bart?
Very well said, Giles. So I'm with Splunk, obviously a partner, a customer of CallidusCloud and a customer of Salesforce.com. Our whole mission in life is to make data usable, accessible, and valuable to everyone. And Splunk is a platform that does that. And we leverage both Salesforce.com and CallidusCloud to make it apply to our teams and make our teams very, very successful in a very fast way.
Awesome. So, Bart, let's start with you. So how, as Splunk being a leader in operational intelligence and machine-generated big data, how important was it for you to be able to find the right data and sales content and give it to the field at the right time?
Extremely important. In fact, that's exactly what drove our decision to partner with CallidusCloud. We've grown immensely. So in 2010, we were a $60 million company. We exited last year just shy of $700 million. We've hired over 2,300 people in that period of time, 1,000 in the field. Getting them enabled, giving them content that's relevant, making it only what they need so they don't have to sift through piles of information is critically important to our success. It has to happen.
Absolutely. And Giles, congratulations on being named in Gartner's Magic Quadrant for sales performance management for 3 years in a row. That's an incredible accomplishment. So how influential is it having incredible companies like Splunk forcing you to innovate and continue to create these incredible products for sales performance management?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't be in the leaders quadrant. We wouldn't be the leaders if great customers like Splunk, and I was on stage yesterday with Rich from Shackley, he's their CIO. These guys are really driving our roadmap. So for us, we're a customer-driven company. A lot of the innovation that we bring to market is delivered by our customers. And a great example of that is what we're doing with Splunk and the partnership there, helping them with their content and their coaching. And then also the Salesforce Lightning app that we've announced this year. That was something that was really driven by our customers. We've been a great partner with Salesforce, but our customers said, we've got this really rich sales performance data, but we really want to see it within CRM, and then we can mash it up with the opportunity information. And the commissions data set is just so valuable. We've got like 5 million sales reps on our Sales Cloud.
Wow.
It's huge, and we pay out sort of like $100 billion a year for our customers for commissions. So it's a very, very rich and accurate data set, because it's one of your biggest sales and marketing line items, right? The commissions budget gets a lot of scrutiny. So as a result of that, it's very accurate and it's very useful. So if you can sort of put that in a really nice interface, which we've done with the Salesforce Lightning app, then our customers absolutely love that. They see tremendous value from that.
Right. And Bart, I would imagine you had a lot of options in the market for sales performance management. How did you decide that CallidusCloud was going to be the fit for Splunk?
That's a great question, and I love the question. We have a very specific methodology in how we teach, how we onboard, how we certify, and how we use content in our selling process. For us to have a technology that allowed us to measure from day one, coach and enable throughout the life cycle of a rep, and then report on that data, all coalesced together, it was critical. And for years, we looked for a partner that could help us with that. CallidusCloud was the only company that could come to the table, partner with us, and determine how to solve the problem. So it's why we're working together now in the partnership. So it's exceptional.
And you have a unique sales philosophy that sort of mimics the way Splunk goes to market. Can you tell us a little bit more about, let me tell you your philosophy, for the field, from the field?
Yeah, so I have to give credit to the tagline. We have an industry leader within the company, David Jenkins. He's an author. He wrote Whiteboard Selling. That's his term. But we've we've enabled him to put that into practice where all of our best practices, our tooling, all of our methodology changes, and everything we do comes from collaboration with the field teams. We don't tell them what to do, we decide collectively. We put their hands on it, they work through the process with us, and then through technology like CallidusCloud, we can deliver it back to them in virtually real time.
Wow.
When they need it, in the trench, collaborating with the customer, or as a team when we're prepping for calls, it's all in one place. So they have a very high uptake of our content, of our process, our methodologies, and our tools because they've helped build it.
Right.
It's almost like the partnership with Callidus. We're collectively designing and rolling out. It's not one way. We hold each other accountable, and that's what makes it work.
And for other customers and viewers that are watching this, that are looking into sales performance management, what was that process like once you decided CallidusCloud was going to be your tool for Splunk? How long? I mean, could you put a time frame on how long it took to get your reps ready using CallidusCloud?
I can, and we did a lot of this ourselves manually for a long time. We tried building in-house. When we determined that collectively Callidus could help us, the time for us to deploy initially was very short. We've just going live now. But I can tell you the hands-on process and getting it done and making it usable by the field, designed with them as we're rolling it out, seamless and simple, more simple than we could have ever imagined. Further, we're already looking at phase 2 of the project and how we optimize and how we roll out and how we continue to make it valuable to the field so we can report back to e-staff and senior management and show them the productivity gains, thus giving us more options. It's all about proving the value.
Absolutely, and so it sounds like you've had a wonderful experience. And Giles, how are you continuing to deliver to your customers like Splunk, like Salesforce, in a world of digital disruption?
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on right now. Every day we're bombarded with sort of almost 3,000 marketing messages. So trying to reach our customers is a real challenge. We've got to be laser focused and very precise with the messages that we're putting out there. But also the thing that's really strange and strikes me is that we've got these beautiful interfaces for ordering our shopping or figuring out what we want to watch on TV. We've got Siri to help us look up the baseball scores, right? But then when it comes to selling $1 million piece of software or a multi-million-dollar piece of hardware, we're giving our salespeople tools from the dark ages, if that. We're arming them with Excel, and we're expecting them to kind of put a great quote out there that hits the needs of the customer. We're not giving them the context, all the data that we're able to collect about the customers, and we're expecting them to do a brilliant job. And the thing that's really funny is that the customers now, they're not measuring you against your competitor, the other guy that makes those machines. They're measuring you against the best experience they've ever had, whether that's on Amazon, whether that's with their iPhone, whether that's at the local retailer, whatever it is, that's their benchmark now. And it's changed, because years ago it was just, well, you're a lot better than these other guys that do what you do, so I'll go with it. But now there's this massive experience gap. And I think with the rise of the assistants, there were something like 88 million devices sold this year that have got assistants in them. That sort of interface is what our customers are going to expect. When they ask the sales guy, is this the right thing? What does it do? They expect the sales guy to go, yes, it is the right thing. Here's how it works, and answer their questions. And they don't expect to have to wait for 3 weeks to get a quote. They don't want it to be wrong. And then the sales guys, similarly as well, the expectations they have, they want to be paid right. They want to get their commissions immediately. Otherwise, it's a really big demotivator, and they will spend time analyzing it, figuring out whether they got it right or wrong. And that's a big time drain that you don't want for sales.
Absolutely. And sales performance, coming from a salesperson, it's a very personal thing, and you want it to be right, and you want it to look good. And you mentioned the assistant and artificial intelligence, so that's been a big focus at Dreamforce this year. So what has been your focus, coming here from CallidusCloud? What's been your focus at Dreamforce?
Well, the launch of our Lightning app, as I said, has been great. The customers really love that, and they can, the great thing for the sales guys is that they can see what they're going to earn on their opportunities. So if I'm going to close these 4 deals, what do I stand to make? That's very incentivizing to them to get those deals done. So that's been great. But I think there's a lot more to come for the partnership. We've got, like I said, we've got a sort of 5 million plus sales guys on the platform, very rich industry experience, over 150 insurance customers, for example. And I think what we can do for the producers, the sales agents for the insurers, is phenomenal. We can deliver them an amazing experience, which is really important. The producers for these guys are like their customers. If you don't give them a good experience, I'm afraid their loyalty is going to go elsewhere because they'll be able to make more money with somebody else because it's easier. So I think there's a lot that we can do together in that field as well.
And Bart, artificial intelligence was something that you spoke a lot about at your session yesterday at Dreamforce. So can you talk about how Splunk is actually using AI to determine the success or failure of your customers?
Yeah, great question. So for us in our technology today, we actually have machine learning. I would say we actually collaborate with our customers and we help them understand how their use of the product, how machine learning is showing what's going to happen, what's going to predict in the future so that they don't actually make mistakes. We're trying to take ourselves out of it. We're trying to give the technology the capability to do it dynamically with the customers without our involvement so that their success is separated from us. It gives us scale, it gives us quality, and it gives us an excellent customer experience.
And while artificial intelligence is taking over, it's becoming the most important thing in technology today, but I would imagine as, the VP of global field success, there is still an element of human involvement,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, if we're not partnering and if we're not holding each other accountable and still having a great culture, it's over. Technology can do nothing. However, the easier the technology is to use, the easier we can get data out of it, the more simple it is to provide that data or information or asset in real time to make the presentation to the customer, the interaction with each other, to make it as professional as possible, the better our lives are going to be. It's just more enjoyable that way. When Giles was speaking, spreadsheets as a proposal, it still happens, and I don't understand why. There's technology at our fingertips that we don't have to do that anymore. I'm a buyer of software. If the spreadsheet comes over as a proposal, I'm probably not buying that software. Yeah. It just doesn't work.
That's very smart. Remember that. And Giles, how has CallidusCloud, the lead to money platform, how is it helping to deliver real value to your clients?
Well, as Bart just hit on, right, there are multiple things that our customers are trying to do. And what they're not trying to do is stitch together 12 different technology systems. I don't want to go to one person for a quote system, figure out how to integrate that with CRM. I don't want to go to somewhere else for my commissions, and then somewhere else for my learning, and somewhere else for my territories, because the data is going to be disconnected. Right. I'm not going to be able to draw any of those really important insights from it. And so what we're helping our customers do, and Lenovo is a great example of this, they've ripped out 6 separate siloed systems and replaced it with the lead to money suite. And they've done it in phases, right? It's the proper way to do it, phase it in, but they're able to get a load of their problems solved in one place. So if you think about the quoting proposition that we just talked about, right? The idea of a quote and automating that process is so that you can get better cross-sell and upsell into it. You can make it easier. Mm-hmm. Well, what else is going to do that? Spiffs, incentives, right? Yeah. So if you're able to see that at the time of quoting and putting in, hey, what am I going to earn on this deal as I'm building this quote? There's all of a sudden the sales guys are a little bit more motivated to put extra stuff in it. And so we've seen like doubling of attach rates for support and additional products, many of our customers, and they've seen it literally double. It's incredible.
So CallidusCloud, talk a little bit, tell me a little bit how you're actually gamifying the sales process. Is that with spiffs? I mean, what else are you putting into the technology to make salespeople remember that this is what I need to sell? Yeah,
it's a great point. The incentives isn't just about the cash. Cash is really, really good for driving sales of a particular product or saying, hey, you know what, we're really focused on margin now. Mm-hmm. We want you to sell at a good discount, good, healthy price point. What it's not good at is sort of saying, hey, make sure you do your training. Make sure you do your coaching. And of course, training and coaching and following the sales playbook is what makes salespeople great salespeople. Right. They don't just wake up overnight and, ta-da, I'm an amazing salesperson, right? So that kind of training and continuous development, gamification is beautiful for that because it draws on the natural competitiveness of a salesperson. They want to be top of the leaderboard. They want to earn the points that are going to get them the top of the leaderboard. And how are they going to earn the points? Well, by completing this training course, by following the sales playbook. So gamification as part of your incentive strategy is what turns commissions into sales performance. It's what drives that performance behaviors.
Absolutely. And I think it sounds like you both have had a very successful Dreamforce here as CallidusCloud and Splunk. And we've had a great time chatting with you today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today on Salesforce Live. And a special thanks to Giles and Bart for their expertise. we look forward to more Salesforce Live.